She was stabbed to death 28 times due to transphobia by the person she thought loved her. The final hours of Kesaria's life provide a chilling timeline of premeditation. The investigation revealed that Beaker and Kesaria had separated about a week before the murder following a personal disagreement. On the afternoon of the 18th of September, investigators found evidence that Beaker took specific deliberate steps. Around 3:50 p.m, Beaker purchased a folding knife from a store. The murder weapon was acquired hours before the attack. To understand the gravity of this crime, we must first understand Kesaria's significance. She was a celebrity, the first openly transgender person to appear on national Georgian television, and a beloved social media influencer with over 500,000 followers. She was, in every sense, a pioneer. Yet she lived in a country where her very existence was frequently under attack, often becoming the focus of state-sponsored, homophobic and transphobic rhetoric. Disturbingly, Kesaria was also a vocal critic of domestic violence, a subject that now casts a heavy shadow over her own death. Friends and neighbours described her relationship with ex-boyfriend Baka Janie as deeply toxic and abusive. In the months before her murder, Kesaria had reportedly posted about having to leave the country due to persistent manipulation and violence. This was not a sudden burst of rage, it was the final, fatal act in an established pattern of control and abuse. Hello true crime fans, welcome to Behind the Yellow Tape. Today we will be discussing the life and tragic brutal end of Kesaria Abramidze, a 37-year-old woman, model, actress and a towering figure in Georgia's fight for transgender rights. Her murder on the 18th of September 2024 wasn't just a shocking crime, it was a devastating symbol of the hate and violence that a climate of intolerance can unleash. The accused then attempted to arrange a meeting with Kesaria. According to his statement to police, Kesaria agreed to meet only on the condition that he allow her to make their relationship public by posting their photographs on social media, something he had allegedly resisted previously. Beaker consented, seemingly to ensure the meeting took place, revealing a deeply manipulative intent. Just 2 hours before her death, Kesaria posted a photo of the two of them on her social media story. This act, which was intended to affirm their relationship, is speculated to have enraged the subject, potentially cementing his decision to act. At around 7:27 p.m, Beaker arrived at Kesaria's apartment. Evidence from surveillance footage shows he was in her apartment for approximately 20 minutes. It was in this short window that the horrific crime occurred. Following a verbal altercation which began with Beaker striking Kesaria, the attack escalated to the extreme. The prosecutor's office later reported that Beaker inflicted 28 separate stab wounds on various parts of her body. The sheer number and nature of the injuries is why the crime was later defined as premeditated murder with particular cruelty. After the attack, Beaker swiftly fled the scene. Neighbours, alerted by the sounds of a struggle, discovered Kesaria covered in blood and reported the murder an hour later. The next morning, Beaker was arrested near the international airport, having attempted to evade capture. The legal proceedings have been just as important as the investigation. The charges brought against Beaker were not simply for murder, but for premeditated murder under aggravating circumstances, based on gender identity and with particular cruelty. This classification is vital. It acknowledges that the victim's transgender identity combined with the extreme violence made the crime a hate crime. Human rights groups and Georgia's public defender emphasised that the brutality was a direct result of the deeply ingrained transphobia and the toxic culture of hate in the country. In an incredible development that provided justice, the court later convicted Beaker of all charges, including the aggravated murder on the grounds of gender identity, and sentenced him to life imprisonment. The court also found him guilty of repeated acts of violence against Kesaria on the same grounds. Kesaria's murder was a devastating moment that exposed the raw intersection of intimate partner violence and state-sanctioned homophobia. Her death occurred on the heels of the Parliament's passage of a draconian anti-LGBTQ+ law, and the timing amplified the collective grief and anger. Her murder served as an undeniable violent manifestation of the danger faced by a community marginalised and targeted by those in power. Kesaria was a light, a voice for authenticity and courage. Her memory remains a powerful call for action to activists worldwide to demand accountability, challenge hatred, and fight for a society where one's identity is never a death sentence. Thank you for listening today, and remember, stay behind the yellow tape.